this way. Pops
All right, we're ready? Okay, we're gonna call this meeting to order at 6:30. Roll call.
Mark? Gary?
Yep.
Tim?
Yep.
Jim?
Yep.
Ellen? Here. Dylan?
Here. There should be more coming in right now.
There he is.
Look at that. Look at that.
Mark?
Say here.
Here. Come on in.
All right, approval of agenda.
Motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, approval of minutes, regular board meeting, December 18th, 2023.
Motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, reports. Clerk, forthcoming events and correspondence.
We sent, Mary Piaski, that $100 gift card, and, she sent a very nice thank you. Sent to the Redgranite Village Board and employees. Thank you very much for the gift card for my retirement. Through accepting the job position, I have gained new friendships with many good people. I miss you all the most. Wishing you all good health and happiness, Mary. That was very nice. And then, as of right now, for the real estate taxes that were collected is $356,953 right now. So there's still more to add. And that's all I have.
Okay, forthcoming events and correspondence, President. Don't really have anything at the moment, so we will move on to public forum. Persons asking to speak to board, reasonable amount of time, not to exceed 5 minutes. Do we have anybody signed up or?
Nope.
Okay, so moving on. Finance, personal, insurance, Dylan.
Motion to approve check 14749 through 14768 of general fund in the amount of $7,417.20. The water fund check 6205860 through 6205866 in the amount of $7,062.58. Sewer fund check number 6306640 through 6306645 in the amount of $2,249.73. Checks 239 through 354 and 255 through 357 on wages in the amount of $42,088.34. A total of $58,818.85.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Sewer and water, Mark.
Monthly updates from Brent.
No, we replaced the low float at the Main Street, lift station. And then, we also rebuilt the chlorine pump at well 2. You know, it wasn't feeding consistently, so we wanted to get a better feed rate. And the pump's getting old, so we might be looking at getting that replaced here this year. We started training Steve on snow plowing to help public works out when needed. We got plenty of that.
Is he doing pretty good?
Yep.
Good to hear.
He was going around doing it by himself today, so that
Nice.
was good.
No dents to report.
Nobody threw shovels
That's always good.
Yeah.
I saw nothing but big time compliments for you guys. There was a lot of people on Facebook that
Yeah.
were just complimenting the
Yes.
heck out of you guys, so I have to applaud you guys. Good job.
I'm really proud of them guys because, I mean, they never called me once. They all knew what to do and they stuck to it. And we usually go out for lunch after we get done. Cause I start at 2 or 3 in the morning. The rest of the guys start like at 4 or 5. And they were all too tired to go for lunch, so, Saturday, so they had a lot of, all them piles that you see is that Brent and Gene and Adam put that all there. It's a lot of snow.
Yep.
on top of that, we had a power outage Sunday morning at 3 o'clock in the morning for a couple hours, and it puts when it's that cold, it puts everybody in a little bit of a tailspin because the measuring devices at the water towers can freeze. And, Brent did a terrific job of just keeping everything together. We're gonna go through kind of a plan to maybe develop a standard procedure for getting small generators to the water towers. Go through that with both Brent and Stephen, but you really don't understand how difficult that is. This is not the first one either. We've had another one a couple weeks ago, same deal, a lot longer, but it was warmer, right?
Yeah.
Not that big of a deal, but all these remote sites that we have all depend on electric heat tape and everything else, and it doesn't take long at zero when the heat tapes go out. So it was a little bit of a panic, but they got through it. So
You talking both water towers?
yeah.
What's the possibility we put a natural gas generator on site?
That's a little overkill. I mean, we're only talking about 15 amps here, just to power.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah, it's just a panel with a heater in it and, some devices, electronics, PLCs, radios, that kind of thing, cabinet about this big. So we just need to be able to, within a short period of time, get a small generator out there. And the ones we have you gotta have 2 people working around. So I'm proposing that we buy at least one small Honda generator so that one guy comes in, he can, on his own, run out to the tower, the low tower we call it up on Wisconsin, and get that, so we can get a reading, because that's where that reading is of the level is what controls everything else. Water to the prison side of town, running and starting and stopping wells. So anyway, we're going to go through that kind of a procedure and look for things that need to be improved. But yeah, it's
That'd be cool if you get a small one that'll automatically kick on when the power goes out.
there is that possibility.
Yeah.
Yep. That might be a little more than the budget can handle, but you bet.
What about an on-site lithium battery storage system?
Yeah, well, that we'll look into too. Yep, we do have a short-term, about an hour battery backup right now, and we could beef that up. Those batteries aren't all that expensive, so we'll look into that as well.
If you run into a problem, just stop by my house, just go in my garage and grab that big one I have. I have a big one that'll run 480 welders off of it. It's on wheels, so one person can tug it.
Okay, all right, good to know. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, so that's all I have for monthly updates.
Consider act on approval of resolution 2024-01 of village board revising the tariff language for the direct charge of public fire protection.
All right, so this one here, we are going to call Brian and have him on the phone so that he can kind of explain this whole situation.
I wanted to just give you this copy. This is an email from the PSC. I asked about this type of charging system, and he's saying there's 80 utilities in the state, and none of them do what this resolution is asking it to do, so I can't recommend it based on
Hi
that.
Brian, Jim Erdman from Redgranite.
Hey.
So we have the board here and we just got to the part about this tariff language. And I kind of wanted you to explain a little bit of this to the board so that we can go over this and decide what we're gonna do here.
Yep, that sounds good. I can walk through it if you're ready.
Can everybody hear halfway decent?
Yep.
All right, you're good to go, Brian.
Okay. Thank you all for having me over the phone tonight.
Oh, okay.
The village does have the option to add language for this public fire protection charge for non-general customers, wherein if you have, if you own adjacent parcels, the village may charge those adjacent parcels as one. I want everyone to recall that part of the reason for moving this charge is so it can get out of the general fund and be within the water fund. So all of these parcels previously were charged just on the tax levy, not on the water bill. So I just kind of wanted to refresh everyone's memory in terms of how this charge works. But it has since been moved to the water bill, and the village has a resolution in front of them that if they want to add language to allow for, process wherein someone owns adjacent properties and requests, can I be charged only one instead of 2 or 5, however many adjacent parcels there are, that the village would have the option to charge them for only one parcel instead of, each individual parcel. So it sounds like the village has some unique circumstances where this might apply, particularly, some smaller parcels or subdivided, platted lots, things like that. So in these instances, where it becomes contentious or a problem, we have seen communities add this language, so that they have this opportunity, to only charge, the one charge. So the last thing that I'll mention is the process, should you choose to adopt this resolution, would be then to request the PSC to add it. Now, it's not always a guarantee, as we may or may not know with the PSC, that they automatically do what we request, understanding that they're a regulatory body that may make, other decisions. For example, the only other decision besides for just saying, yes, we'll add this language, would be they would say the next time you come in for a rate case, this will be put on there, but it can't be put on right now. I don't know of that answer yet, if it will be. I think it's probably 50-50. This new PSC regime kind of surprises us regularly in the past couple of months. So honestly, I don't know, how they will automatically put it on there or not. The one thing I can say, though, given the contentious nature of, the charge and what the village is experiencing, at least you can say if it is the will of the board to add the language, you tried to add it, it'll just be added at a later time, and therefore the PSC is kind of forcing our hand. So hopefully that all makes sense, but I'll stay on the line to answer any questions that you may have.
Okay. So basically, you and I have had a couple of conversations, and Glenn and I have had some conversations with you. So my basic understanding of this, and I guess where I should start here is, first of all, this was something that was done 2 years ago, correct? And then was was switched over to the water bill last year, January 1st, correct?
Yes, yep, yeah, it was talked about, I think about 2 years ago, and then, yeah, I believe it was January 1st, 2023, that it got put on the water bill, correct?
So at that time, all this stuff was put out for everybody to see and know exactly what was going on with these, and they could have brought all this stuff to attention back then, but now it's being brought to attention because everybody's finally getting the bills and they're not liking it.
Correct.
Okay, so I want that known so that everybody realizes that this wasn't something that we just did and, didn't let everybody know what was going on. Now, next, this charge was taken basically off the general fund and put onto the water bills because that was one way that we could relieve some of the general fund for other things, correct?
Correct, right, yeah, because otherwise it sits on your general fund expenses and then therefore needs a general fund revenue, which in the village's case was the levy. So in order to free up some budgetary expense pressure, many communities, over 65% in the state, convert this to their water charge to free up that levy, kind of capacity or budgetary pressure, kind of relieve the budgetary pressure, so yes.
So basically, everybody was already being charged.
Yeah, everybody was already being charged this, it's just now we moved it from general fund over to the water bill.
Correct.
Okay,
Alright.
so now what some people are asking us to do is they want, because they've bought multiple lots for whatever reason, be it they're trying to keep their neighbors away or they bought this at a cheaper price and are gonna resell, these folks would like to combine it so that they're getting less of a charge. And by doing that, first of all, if we combine those, it's not necessarily going to raise the, cost for the other customers on the water bill immediately, but it could, when we go for our next rate case, all that money that we decided to let them get away from would be added onto the water bill, and everybody else in the village would then be charged that extra cost. Hello?
Nope, that's correct. Sorry, I didn't know if you were wanting me to comment on that, but everything you said is correct. If the PSC were to take your resolution, should it be passed, and put it on, add that language, understand it doesn't change the charge at that point, right? They're just adding that language. But you're correct in your statement to say that, you know, puts larger pieces of the pie when we're taking away, you know, these slivered numbers or the, you know, denominator in terms of what we're dividing by. You know, if we're reducing that number, right, everybody's charge will go up as a function of that. The charge, you know, may go up in addition to as a function of whatever the PSD kind of chooses the new rates to be based off of their review. So like there'll be kind of two components in which that charge could go up, but you are correct. If you kind of reduce the pie, that charge will go up just because of that, but it wouldn't happen until you go in for a rate review with PSC.
So we have one flat rate for the year and it's dispersed between all lots. So if we could allow people with multiple lots to combine, then the people with the single lots would pay more at the end of the year, or during that time frame.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. I think that's all the information I need.
That's what my question was.
Yeah.
Well, I just wanna look at the fact that people that don't have a buildable lot, say you got two lots, your house is on one and your other lot is not buildable due to the new standards, that's not fair to assess them that fee.
But could there be, yeah, in that situation, could be there an exception?
That might be an exception.
Yeah.
that the
Because there's a
village
lot
could
of
deal-
lots in town, if you look, that,
Ask them that particular thing, if there's a.
So, Brian,
non-buildable.
the one customer that I can think of that has kind of a big complaint about this, he's got a piece of property that's only 10 feet wide, it's not buildable. And, reason why this piece of property is this way is because of rules and regulations that were going on, and years ago, they needed a buffer zone between a couple properties, and so they created this buffer zone, which is 10 feet wide. He acquired this property with the other property when his family bought that, and so now he is being charged the PFC charge on that piece of property that's only 10 feet wide. So do we have to go back and put language in for something like that, or is that something that we can just decide that, hey, you know, that one lot is something that we can take that charge off of?
Or your example, same thing.
yeah.
Let me take that question to the PSC if you don't mind. I want to hear it from the PSC. This came up in another community, but it turned out to be that it was determined that it was buildable in the end. So like different circumstances here, but you know, a 10-foot lot, obviously understand is probably not buildable no matter how we slice that. So
Who would designate that?
I would want to take that direct question to the PSC and how they would handle that, because I don't believe there's direct language that acknowledges it in terms of their tariff language that they could put in, but they may have some sort of background knowledge or ways to connect the dots within their own statutes and the state statutes and how that works. So I would prefer to hear that from the PSC if you don't mind, and I can ask them that question tomorrow.
Okay.
In my opinion, I don't think, unless there's an exception for a non-buildable lot, but we would need to have it evaluated to be non-buildable. And I think it should be evaluated at the owner's expense. And then if it is evaluated and determined to be unbuildable, then I think we put that wording in there as an exception. But otherwise, if it's buildable and everybody's gonna get charged regardless, I say we look at that. That's my opinion.
Well, my opinion is, well, what did you have something to say?
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, my opinion is that you know, I understand how people feel about this, but like I said, this has been out there for 2 years and was something that was well put out there. I know it was advertised the whole 9 yards. People could have brought this a long time ago and we could have dealt with this a long time ago, but we've already gone through the process. We've got everything done. And yes, I do agree that there are a few situations that we should look at and try and rectify. But as far as people that went out and bought multiple lots and for whatever reason they have them, be it, like I said, buffer zones or whatever, they've
already been.
they've already had the chance to fight it. They didn't, and now it's time that if they don't want to do it, it's time to maybe sell, because in a way they're kind of hurting the tax value that Redgranite could be collecting, because somebody else could build a house on those lots and we could raise
Well, see,
our
that's the
tax
problem.
up.
They're gonna be given that option up if they could try combining all their lots. Say they got 5 or 6 lots, they sell them all as one, they're gonna get less money than they would.
Well, and not only that, but we did some
Exactly.
figuring on it, and
Right.
if we were to let everybody combine that, that's gonna lose us somewhere between $15,000 and $20,000 from what we were just looking at
Right.
in that charge if we let everybody combine. And then, like I said, when we go back for our next rate case, that's gonna get added on, and everybody else that only has one lot is gonna pay for that.
Alright, so what do we wanna do here? He's
And I
gonna
don't
call
think it's
PSC
fair.
tomorrow.
Motion to decline resolution 2024-01 to change the wording.
So, are we gonna, we don't want any more information from Brian, we're good with Brian?
I think we still get
We're
that,
gonna
yeah.
have them call a PSC.
Yeah, we'll get that,
Unbuildable
yeah.
lots, yeah.
Yeah, we'll get that much, but
Sure.
is this something that we wanna maybe postpone until we get that information? Or do we just wanna try and find that out and vote on this resolution tonight?
I don't
think you
know,
got a
I feel-
motion now.
I feel that if one person owns 40 lots, single lots, and I only own one, I don't know why the people with the single lot should have to help out the guy with all the land.
Right.
Well, and I'm one of those people, I own 2 lots, so I gotta pay 2 fees. You know,
Yeah,
Well, and, you know,
it's just
I
part
mean,
of the
We'll
taxation.
talk about some of those numbers. There's 108 customers with multiple lots, two and 3 lots each, right? And there's only a few that have a lot. One of them's DNR, they got 30. They called, but they didn't say anything about they just wanted to know what it was. And Brett went through the spiel and gave them the spiel. You only got really one customer who's raising hell about this. And I don't know, do we govern by just one person's complaints?
Well, I think we take
can't
them up
really-
on, have them call a PSC about the
Yeah.
small lots.
yeah,
But that can be changed down the road, I say.
You think we can change that down the road after we adopt this?
We already adopted.
Yeah, I think so.
Well,
I think you can.
Brian, is that something we can do if you call and talk to them and they say that that's something we can work out on our own? Or be it they have to change a little bit of the wording, is that something that if we vote on this tonight, it's gonna hurt anything?
No, because what you have in front of you doesn't deal with buildable and non-buildable, in my opinion. So if it's just a question on the buildable lot, right, that I would treat that as a separate issue that technically, would have to be taken up in a separate agenda item anyway. So, there will be a future conversation about that pending the PSC's answer.
Okay, so then you'll find out about that from the PSC and let us know.
Yep.
Okay. Anybody have any other questions?
I appreciate your time.
Thank you, Brian.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you all.
All right, have a good night now.
You as well.
Bye.
Do I have to repeat my motion, or
Yeah,
motion to decline, resolution 2024-01 to change the wording?
Second,
All in favor?
I,
Opposed? All right. Next one, Mark.
Consider act on approval of Tyler's Investment Partners, Inc. Advisory Services Policy.
This is that presentation that came in a couple months ago and went over with us, and I think we're all in agreement on it then, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Motion to approve item number 3, sewer water.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Is number 4 the same thing, pretty much?
Looks like it.
Motion to approve item number 4.
Oh, this one here is, if you looked in here, it names Becky and Gina as the people to be able to authorize, but it has to be approved by the board. So, let me find the page here quick. Oh, it's in this one, I'm sorry, I'm looking in the wrong one.
That's about halfway back.
So we have to put more work on them?
What's that?
We get to give them more work?
Yes.
So,
But at the same time too, does this also take work, does this relieve you guys of some extra work as well? though?
Page 2.
yeah, right here, so delegation of authority, it says, management and administrative responsibility for investment programs of the village is entrusted to the village clerk slash treasurer and deputy clerk slash treasurer under the direction of the village board. Individuals authorized to engage investment transactions on behalf of the village are listed in Apex A, and so if you go back here, it has Becky and Gina. So basically, what it's saying is if, there's like CDs that need to be, put together, or, you know, any sort of financial stuff that's taken care of, they'll get the notification, the board is gonna have to approve it, and then they would be the ones that would take care of it.
Motion to approve number 4.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Consider act on approval of invoice for transmitter from PJK in the amount of $1,832.47.
Yeah, that's, we had PJ Apartments come over for emergency repair on our transducer that's in our main plant lift station that ended up failing on us this last month. So we called them and they were able to come out and get it changed for us that day. So that's what that invoice is for.
Motion to approve item number 5 under sewer water.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Machinery garbage ordinance.
How'd you end up with that?
I was gonna say, it wasn't,
Wondering if I got fired or what?
yeah, that was Gary's. Gary,
Number 1, consider act on approval on department, I think there's a word missing there, an amount breakdown of new lawnmowers.
Last meeting, you approved of purchasing that lawnmower that we talked at zero turn. And then we're gonna talk at this meeting about 3 places where we can draw some money out of instead of taking it all in one fund. So I have 11,600 in my budget for parks, 6,000 for cemetery, and we have 50,000 for the street outlay, which when we mow ditches, so that can be taken out of there also.
I thought we had discussed, because you mow for the sewer and water too, I thought we had discussed seeing if they were gonna pay for a portion of that too as well.
Or if you did, I don't remember.
I thought we did, but
Yeah, we did.
I guess it's up to you, how do you wanna divide this out, or did you want it all come all in one spot? I just thought, this mower gets used in all these areas, so, I think, some of them departments can probably help pay for it.
I agree.
I think
What
it's fair.
percentage would you say is done for sewer water?
Very little. Usually it's probably every 2 weeks on a wet year,
All right,
so it's really not even,
so it'd be more cemetery and.
yeah, it's really,
Okay.
and they do stuff for us, and so that's payment back to them for,
Okay.
that kind of stuff. Yeah, the police department could pay for it. So them are the three departments that we use it for.
Okay,
So we have 50,000 And then we have 6,000 for cemetery, which isn't much, and then 11,600 for the parks. So however you wanna divide it up, obviously, street outlay will take most of it, but however you decide, if you don't wanna take any, out of any of them, just one of them, that's fine.
What is the risk of taking it out of that 50,000? What was that for?
That's for road improvements. That's for
Which-
crack filling, chip sealing, shouldering.
So that's something we want to take less out of, right? Because that's kind of a higher priority.
You'll probably have to take, actually, we're sitting really good at parks as far as what I'm gonna be doing this year. We're gonna have to do some building improvements in Vet Park. We have some issues there. But some topsoil, some reseeding. There's no gonna be, so we're gonna be sitting pretty good this year on that.
Yeah, and this is notwithstanding any funds we get back from the sale of that other mower.
Correct.
That's correct, also, and that'll be, I was told the end of March is the best time to put it up for bid, so it can be around 6,000. I'm just thinking.
We were
based
at
on what I heard,
14.5 on the other one,
14.
14? So just, let's say we got,
13,500 left to pay on it.
so if we got 6,
You just want to split it evenly 3 ways across all 3, or?
No, we can't do that, because I would take the most out of the street outlay
Okay,
and out of the parks.
all right.
well, I was
I
gonna
think
say
the parks, like
Parks
I
is
said,
gonna
the parks
use
were
mostly,
sitting-
right?
Sitting pretty good. I don't have my final, December yet, so I know what closed out, what we have left in that department from last year.
So I think we go with Jim's recommendation of the more out of the 2, less out of the 1.
I would say the
Cemetery
biggest
usually
majority,
depends on
if we
how
can
many
take it out of the parks, would probably be, because that's where we're gonna use it the most, correct?
Yeah, parks.
So I think the biggest majority should come out of that.
Yes, I think you should just take it out of the cemetery, parks and out of the street outlay.
Okay.
50,000. I think that would be the best. And then when we get, whatever we get for that other mower, we can just divvy it up and put it back into the departments.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Yeah, cause let's say you do get 6, that's gonna leave 8. So, I mean, if you took like 6 from the parks and 2 from the street outlay, is that,
That's doable.
and that still leaves money for the parks for your building.
Yeah, there's gonna be building and there's probably be couple $1,000 of topsoil and seeding and just some, upkeeps and, we got
I think,
trees
I think
cut out
that
there.
sounds like a reasonable, how about you guys?
Whatever you decide on 2 departments is fine.
Alright,
Is it too broad if we just say recommend for Jim's discretion, or? So a motion to approve for Jim's, advising for street outlay and parks.
Second.
all in favor?
I,
Opposed?
Just one more question, and so then Becky or who can write the checks out of them 2 departments, right? And I just pay for it then? Okay, that's all I need, thank
But
you.
then however we decide to divvy it up, the money that comes back from the lawnmower gets split up the same way to go
Okay.
back to those
Yep.
2.
Yep, exactly.
So you can get it picked up right away and then put the lights and everything on it through the winter. And-
Yeah, I'm not gonna take delivery until March because we just don't have the room for it right now. Until we sell the other one, I just don't have any room in the shop. So, because the mowers we store over here, and that's full.
So he's not gonna have any problem.
No, I says he can keep it on the showroom floor. He says, I don't care, just tell me a week before, I'll have it ready.
All right, good.
Number 2, consider act on approval of hiring John Lusk, Kunkel Engineering Group for a zoning and building inspector consultant.
I think we already discussed this.
Yeah, we discussed it, we pre-approved it.
Yes.
Because he's been helping us out with ordinances as well.
Yeah. But he's got his fees and how everything.
Yep, we done did that. We don't have to make another fee in there for like a fee for investigating and combining small lots, do we?
Right. I do have, Berlin's full fee schedule here if you, I got a couple printed out. And I also have the counties.
I think yeah, we already.
Oh, you got all that? Okay. Good.
So are these fees paid directly to you or directly through? the
They would be
clerk?
paid to us, and then they would.
All
be-
fees go to the village, and then once a month, we send them a bill for 90% of the fees,
Okay,
so you do get 10%.
Are we gonna stack inspections? Like, say we get, 3 during the week, you can wait to do them all on one day then?
The way that I work that is, well, I only live 8 miles away, so I could do it every day.
Okay.
But like Berlin, I take care of Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So I do this way. I also have New London, Wild Rose, Clintonville. So I'm up there on Tuesdays and Thursdays. But we do have other personnel that help cover our area also. There are other inspectors, both commercial and residential. So in case I go down or something, there's somebody else to cover. So.
Okay. Not that it's gonna be that busy, but you never know.
Right.
Well, and the way this is set up, I mean, basically, the money that we've set aside for him would be just for village stuff, so if we had questions about, you know, a couple things here and there, that would be money that we could use for him. Everything that he's doing for the residents would be basically paid through the residents for
Right.
him, so it wouldn't come out of us, and we would actually get a little bit back from.
Yes, that's what it
So,
works, and the
I
only thing
think
we
this is a
bill
good
is
plan, I think this works out real well.
raise orders or something that's not covered by a permit fee.
Yep.
Yeah, something consistent, we can rely on.
Yeah, and now we actually have somebody that can, you know, we can make sure that the regulations and all that stuff is done in the village, because up until this point, as we all know, the village clerk was the building inspector, and there was no way they were gonna be able to follow through on that.
Right, there's so much with the state now and dedicated municipalities and checking out your zoning ordinances to see if we can kind of get you up to date.
Yeah.
There's so many smaller communities are so far behind on things in their ordinances that, you know, it's just really hard to try to do things because you're finding things out that are buried in the ordinance that you don't even know should be right out there. It's like some of this other stuff that I mentioned in my letter that what is covered by a permit, that should be, you know, what's not covered by a permit fee and what is. You know, you can go ahead, change all the carpeting, paint your house, do all that normal stuff without having to have a permit. But usually once it's structural, like I say, we covered, that's pretty comprehensive fee schedule.
it breaks it down nicely.
Covers a lot of stuff that doesn't happen very often.
I say motion to approve hiring, John Lust and Kunkel Engineering Group.
Yes, I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
And lastly, number 3, discuss, consider act on approval to enact a fee schedule set by John Lust Kunkel Engineering Group for village zoning, zoning appeals, and/or building inspections.
So it all looks pretty affordable on this.
Yeah, we took, John gave us a really good example of what a current resident that would have built in 2023 would have paid versus with the new charges, based on a 1,200 square foot home, with a 1,200 square foot basement. Their charges and the existing charges are within $30 of what a current resident would have paid.
Okay.
So there's no significant increase here. This is and this creates a stream of revenue for the village as well because of that 10% kickback.
Well, yeah, just looking at this too, like that raise in the demo of that one house, how much should we pay for that to have evaluated? I think it was-
John did the report on it, I think he charged us less than $200.
All right, and I see on here for this one, with the contract, it's 66. So that,
But we should be able to get some of that back when you're doing enforcement actions. Certain costs that you can put on the tax roll, if you have to have it into the county by the 15th of October, it's a special assessment. So that can be assessed to the tax roll as well. Attorney's fees, our fees, or our costs involved for doing whatever we do, whatever John does can be assessed on
complaints about these fees?
No,
Okay, motion to approve the fee schedule.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Streets, sidewalks, ditches, Mark.
Nothing's updated.
All right.
Any, do you have anybody come and look at that storage building that's falling apart, and get an idea what that would cost?
I'm having Primark, the county commissioners gonna come over to kind of come up with a plan, and then I'm gonna call, he's gonna come out this week. Then I'm gonna call Modern Pole and have them give me a cost estimate on it, and I'll bring it to the board.
There's snow inside of the building now?
I don't know, I don't like to go in because I think it's gonna collapse.
Is that the one behind you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good house for the cats.
Yuck.
Put a roof on it, get out of here.
No, I'm not gonna go to these municipal buildings on here.
All right. We're all good on the streets, sidewalks? Mark?
Yep.
Okay. Municipal buildings, Tim?
Any problems with your doors leaking air over there in the shop?
Yeah, the bottoms are rotted out on it, the door jams.
I think we put some money in the budget for that, didn't we?
Yeah, I was over there the other day and his office was pretty frosty and everything too, so we need to start looking at all of that over there.
So who we gonna recommend for overhead door?
We've been using Dan's door service, but that's something we can
Rob
throw
Road?
out for bids.
Yeah.
You know, there's all kinds of door guys, but Dan's been doing our repairs for us.
I've been using a local guy,
And there's other guys too, I know I have in my cards for us, but I don't know anything about them.
yeah, I've been using a local guy, he quoted to open my big bay door up 4 feet, redo the wall, the I-beam, and put in a new door for like under $2,500. And that's with an automatic door opener, and then recoat all my door openers to run off one liquor.
We only have one big door that we can get the plow truck in there, and what I like to do is take that chimney out, move the service door over where the chimney was, and put the same size door on the east end of the shop too.
All right.
Because when we back out, I already run into the door jam with the wing, because that or the mirror hits on the other side trying to get it in, you know, so it's just,
So we'd be looking at a temporary fix until it gets warmer to replace it.
And some blankets around the door edge.
Yeah, that would work.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
I need some blankets.
I mean, it's a good shop. It's too small, but it's a good shop. The floor is great. We repaired the drains, all the lighting. It's really good. It just needs some updating. It needs to be insulated. That's back in the 60s, and there's only this much on it, you know. And the doors, and we need to do some concrete approaches, because that's all busted up and sunk down. You know, it's a good building.
I think we need to take a look at the whole situation over there, because we need a building for storage. There's a decent building, but is there something that we can do to maybe kind of combine?
Yeah,
And-
is there
Yeah.
a chance that we could put a addition onto that?
Or the one that's the shop now, can that be used as a storage and make a different building that would better
Yeah,
suit what we
absolutely.
need?
That would be wonderful.
I think we should look at different alternatives here and see what's gonna be the most beneficial and the most equitable.
Yeah, well, it's gonna come down to how much room we got on the
So
side.
what do you want to do? What do you want me to do then? If you want to change gears here and go that route, make our old building a storage and build a new public works building, then that's.
I guess, what are your thoughts?
I agree with that.
I think,
I'm just saying, our building's a steel building and it's great, it's in great shape, it just needs a lot of updating, insulation, doors, overhead doors, it needs to be widened.
but when, the couple
You know,
times
so-
I've come over there and talked with you and stuff, I'm looking at that building and I'm like, yeah, this thing's really outdated, but it's a nice building. It could be a great storage facility.
Well, I think we're gonna have to find out, get the lot size. and
Well, yeah,
what our
that's what I'm
options
saying,
are.
we'd have to, kind of look at all the options, but that's what I'm saying. I think it's a nice building and it fits everything pretty decently, right?
Well, why don't he make a wish list, what needs to be done with the present building, and we can start with that?
Well,
What do we want?
And
What
cost.
kind of temporary fix for the doors or?
Yeah, because if you want to make that cold storage, you really don't have to do anything to it. If you're gonna make it into cold storage, you don't have to do anything really to it.
All right,
Who cares if it leaks air or?
Yeah.
I say we start getting,
Heat it.
start
I
getting
think
some
we got three
quotes.
options then. One, you get a temporary fix the doors. Two, long-term fix. Three, possibility in a building.
Well, I think regardless, I think we need to move forward with a temporary fix for the winter time frame. We don't want them guys up when they're, you know, getting sick because there's a breeze going through and if you're out sweating all day and.
It's not that bad.
Oh, it's
I
not?
mean, it's not like that. It's just that the door jambs are rotted and the overhead doors are really old and they don't seal real well. It's not as
Okay.
bad as what, we're kind of talking about.
You know how much it takes to heat that for a month on that?
Oh my God, no, I don't know. Right now, the furnaces never stop because they're.
Well, that's what I'm saying. See if we can get a temporary fix on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
But what
I
did you want me to do then because you asked to have me to figure out what we need for a storage shed. Did you want me to still do that, or are we gonna shift gears and keep this old one for a storage shed and build a new one?
Can we quote both options?
You wanna do both options?
Yeah, might as well, that way, when somebody complains about
If
it.
we can, let's look at both of them. If we can get at least some sort of an estimate.
I'll have Modern Pole come out and design one,
Okay.
okay?
Yeah, cause I mean, like I said, I think it would be a great storage building and if we had a
think so.
decent shop with a nice office and everything, I don't even really know that we'd have to build anything all that huge.
They put that right in the middle of that lot. They could have put it to the side, it would have been great.
So that old building take down, and this summer I should have more time. I'm gonna cut all the trees around our lot, get rid of that, and then get everything leveled out back there, so then you'll know exactly how much room we got.
Yeah.
We have all kinds of room back there. The problem is we got all our accessories laying all over the place, because there's no room for it, and then at the farm, we have all kinds of stuff over there too, and, eventually that'll go away once my mother doesn't
Yeah,
live
so we
anymore.
tie up money in a temporary fix, you could put it into a building.
Yeah, let's start getting some estimates going both ways. I don't know, me personally, I think we keep the building we got for storage and figure out
That would
something.
probably make more sense, more energy efficient.
Exactly, we could build it more energy efficient and kind of,
More ideal to the.
yeah, make it so that it's more curtailed to what we need instead of just kind of wham bam thinking man, throw something together and.
Just don't, so we don't build it by sewer and water, because it really stinks. I know they were originally gonna do that, so that's why I say.
All right, I think we look at both options.
You guys, it stinks there.
All right, we're good on
It stinks,
municipal
I don't
buildings.
care what anybody says.
We're good on municipal. All right.
Thank you, I'll take care of that, and I'll have something hopefully they can come out, I'll have something at the next meeting, then, okay?
All right,
Regardless
so
if you use that for storage or not, you still wanna make sure that the doors and everything are secure, so you don't have, you're gonna have cats and animals.
No, it's nothing like that. It really is, it's not efficient for heating, and the doors are just so outdated that, when you open them and close them all the time, we're having problems, tracks are getting bent, and we have to straighten them all, things like that. It's nothing, it'd be great storage. You won't have to stick any money in that building. You can shut the water off to it and the heat off to it, and, there you go.
Build it just like that new highway department thing over in Washington
Oh,
County.
my God. Can you build that for me? Or you can have a truck wash in there.
all right. Parks and Cemetery, Ellen.
Anything new, Jim, for the parks?
No, it'll be in my update as far as what's going on in the parks right now. So right now, yeah, I know. Only thing in the parks is that we got the ice rink filled, liner put in and filled on a Wednesday or Thursday. The temperatures are supposed to be in the teens, and that changed. Of course, Saturday, we weren't supposed to get snow, and we got 2 inches, and then we had 16 inches on top of it. And I didn't want to go and look at it today, but I could see it kept pushing ice down, and the water kept coming around over the snow. And I went out there this morning, there was absolutely no snow on it, it was all solid ice, but it was rough ice, like orange peel on it. So we sprayed water on it, and probably tomorrow I'll use a Zamboni on it, and at 10 o'clock we're gonna open it. And it looks really good. And I encourage you all to really look at that warming shed because Gene and Adam really worked hard at it. I think it looks really super inside. You should just take the time and walk over and look at it. So then the hours, Ellen, are gonna be 9. Tomorrow we're gonna open at 10 and in the morning. And then normal hours are gonna be 9 until 10, because that's when the park is done. So we have it on a timer. So the heat and all the lights come on at 9 and they all go off at 10. The only thing is we can't lock it. So we have,
There's a warming shed.
Yeah, but
what?
on the park rules, don't they close at 7?
Nope, Cory closes at 7, parks at 10.
So I will say down during the tree lighting, a lot of people were excited about getting out there and doing the ice rink this year. There was a lot of kids down there and a lot of parents talking about wanting to do an event down there too as well, so.
Yeah, and the donations just unbelievable. I'm not afraid to ask people to donate. And it's showing they are donating, but it helps when you know people too, I guess.
Yeah.
So they're just good people. So that's what's going on.
Do we
with ice
have
rink.
enough skates?
Yes, I'll show you a picture. I'll show you a picture. We just loaded up the cubby holes today. And they've all been gone through, all been cleaned, all been relaced. They're the best of the best that we have. They're really nice, clean skates.
Thank
now.
you.
That's all I have for the parks right now. That took off a long time. I'm sorry.
Good night.
Alright. So, looks like we're moving on to police and fire. Tim?
Okay, the only thing I got on fire is I talked to Mark and they got over $12,000 in donations ready for new stuff.
Wow.
Well,
People keep sending them, they're gonna need it.
Yeah.
How we doing in the police department? Well, we had, Rick's working last Wednesday and you crew hiring Matt. He started Saturday at Academy, talked to him today, he likes it. I still have not gotten word back from Todd Thompson, the Dean of Protective Services there, is the reimbursement. I emailed him, heard nothing back. I did get an email from Steve, who is the Westlake Police Chief and who is running the academy, and he sent me an email apologizing for the misinformation that we would be getting reimbursed. He did not realize that we wouldn't be getting reimbursed by the state. So I'm still holding on and waiting for them to let me know if the college with the grant will be reimbursing us for those costs. So that's all I can do for now. We did order today, Steve needed he's got an old vest, but we got him a vest cover for
Plate carrier.
yeah,
A vest carrier.
with Molly pouches on him so he can put his gear on there. I'm going to apply in April for the U.S. Department of Justice Bulletproof Vest Grant. I believe Bree and I are up for new ones to get renewed, and we'll get that one too. So I'll apply for that funding in April, and then we'll order shortly after that. And it takes about a month usually. We get our vests, we get them locally from a vendor in Adams, and then they're made down in Chicago. The same ones, they make all the vests for the Chicago Police Department. So we've been going for them I've been using them for probably 10 years, and really like the quality. They're really quick. We have problems, they take care of them. We had some problems with the last fitting. They took care of it, no charge, made adjustments, alterations, and they back it too. If something should happen and we would get our vest ruined, or we get shot, and it would stop the vest, they replace it, no questions asked. They stop their production, and they say, if something happens to me, that I make Chief Tar's vest right now, get it overnight and get it to them. So not a lot of places do that nowadays. So
do have a plate carrier with all the plates in it in my garage.
Okay.
Geez, what don't you have?
Have you seen my garage?
Yeah, I seen it that one day, I was afraid to even look again.
How's the vehicle running in the cold weather?
Good, mine's okay. You have any problems?
Nice and warm.
It wasn't all the public works that followed. I drove around Friday and Saturday, so I was pushing snow with the squad cars. I would have sold my fuel to him for helping pushing the snow.
Well, I would just put a plow in the squad and that'll
That's been mentioned before.
Excellent. Okay, that's good.
How's Matt doing? Did Matt like his first weekend in class, or?
Yeah.
He said it feels really good to be back into the law enforcement side of things and just kind of back in the swing of things.
Yep.
And he's extremely excited to get started.
When he was in here, it sounded like he was really excited to be able to go back that late in his life and redo that 720 hours. That's excitement and commitment, so we appreciate it.
He's had nothing but a big smile on his face
Yeah.
every time that I've seen him. So that guy doesn't smile very often, so
No.
it's good to see a smile.
Hopefully it doesn't
I'm
draw
just
him.
kidding.
Hopefully it doesn't draw him down too much with the 7 days a week now,
fantastic.
so.
Right, right.
So that's the day.
Alright.
Quite an interest.
All right, library,
Okay,
monthly
well,
update, Jeannie.
we were up 22% last month. We're getting stuff ready for our annual report. So that will need to be on your April agenda because it'll be approved through the Department of Inspection in March. So, but it'll be through our board in February, and as long as there's no flags, then it'll be presented in March. So we're getting ready for that, but one interesting little thing that I just saw was we registered 89 users. And that's just not, that's people beyond the village, but I'll have the report of, village residents as well. So we'll have a breakdown per township. And all that information will be in our annual report meeting, and that is gonna be next Tuesday. So we're gonna all meet in Menasha for that. So, a couple things. Jeremy, who was our college student that went off, he comes here during winter break, and I give him a lot of just very tedious projects to do, but he's kind of a savant, photographic memory kind of thing. So he's just a pleasure to work with. Everyone loves him. So he came and he was able to work through a lot of this annual report stuff. So that was great to see him back, and a lot of the locals liked seeing him. So he's one of Redgranite's success stories, just so you know. James, who also works there, he has come up with a board game group, and he did all of this on his own, so that's going to start next weekend. Maddie does story time now. She started with us when she was 14. She's 16 now, so she kind of gets most of the story time together, but we're going to probably look at her going to Little Sprouts and kind of migrating over there for part of her hours. So I'm pretty excited about that. When the weather was bad, Redgranite, we were one of the only ones that were open, the latest. We didn't have a lot of business coming through the door, but a lot of phone calls. We did have people coming to do faxes because we were so based on I'm doing some stuff working on our outdoor sign, and this is kind of a big project where I need to look at funding, but basically what that is I'm looking at that digital sign out there, and where other departments would have control or the ability to make immediate updates should weather or closures happen. But we would also flash different meetings. I'm also going to present to our library system to buy into some of that, because we do have a grant of $5,000 that we can apply for. So we're talking like about at least $25,000 to $30,000 for this type of a sign. But I think it would be very valuable. It's right there
this is a project that we started a long time ago in one of our top 5 things that we wanted to finish with the building or in the building area. So we're gonna really concentrate on that this year. So that's one thing.
Is that sign, that's one you can modify from a computer and it just basically rotates? Could we look to see if like local businesses wanna donate and then for that advertising?
I would look at how we can get money for this in any particular
Okay.
way. We have some building money that we can, apply for. Got some grants, we maybe could get some county, but wherever, I think this is some sort of community sign. And it's not just by a computer, it's by a smartphone. And it would have to be, it would be a tiered permission thing. But I could see immediately where like, a fire department or, Kyle's department would need to have access and make updates. Bad weather, when there was, a closure, 2 times Highway 21 closed, maybe we could have, put something out there.
Or maybe like the school closings and stuff, see if the schools wanna buy in on it too for school closings and announcements.
I mean, the list is
Yeah.
endless. Any of our events, any of the events that happen, it would be a scrolling sign. So this is something that's just out there, a lot of communities have it. We have a prime space, it's right there. Plus, I was told, there's electricity right there, so we don't even have to run wires, probably. So, at least that's what I was told by Jean. So anyway, maybe noodle that around, but that, any ideas, that's kind of what our board is gonna be working on, and we wanna kind of really tie this all together. So, that's gonna be our #1 big project this year to try and accomplish. Plus, it's rusted, it's peeling, all of that needs to be fixed and addressed, so. Other than that, the dates that we have for the story walk, you're looking at spring to the end of October, that's typical. Also, the community market dates, we're looking at running Memorial Day, because that's when the parade is there, and the chicken barbecue. So we want to capitalize on that. And then every Saturday until October 25th.
Are you just running until noon again, or is that gonna be later in the day?
We have adjusted our library hours, and so what we would like to capitalize because of the foot traffic and what we discovered last year, people didn't start until about 9:30.
Yeah.
It still took them a long time to set up, so they still want to start and set up about 8 o'clock, but maybe run until 2:30. So we'll extend our library hours to accommodate that. And that would just be for summer. So where most libraries are reducing their library hours in the summer, we're kind of extending ours. But that's what works. We're gonna be there when your people are there. So.
Yeah, makes sense.
And that's all I have.
Thank you, Jean.
Jim, as you guys talked about that new public workshop, I got all kind of disoriented a little bit, so I never gave my monthly report. How can I do that?
And I forgot my page 2 before, but he fixed our sink. I'm so happy to have hot water, so happy. And then we have lights, so it's not always dusk in there. It almost looks like this. So that's really important because I'm in there all day long and shelving has been a struggle. And so it's just been amazing. Our furnace got checked, and that's all due to Jim checking into us. He also volunteered his time to do it. I know we're gonna keep paying for the lights and stuff, but it makes a huge difference. And the people who are coming in there doing research, tutoring, all that stuff, crafting, threading a needle, it'll be very important to have better light. So we're very, very, very happy. So.
All right.
Thank you. Go ahead, Jim.
Very short. Just for donations that can be in Bashar Artist, I appreciate it. So Heidi Randall, she grew up, she was that first house, when you go past Dollar General going east, first house on the right, that's where she grew up. So she has a connection with the village. Heidi Randall, Stinky, right? She used to be my babysitter, so I don't know how old she is. Heidi Randall donated $350 for 2 picnic tables. So that puts our, for Vets Park, so that puts our total of 16 new picnic tables, including 2 handicapped. So we're getting rid of a lot of the old ones. Carla Suzak donated $250 towards the learning shed, and we used that money for the materials inside. Now let's see. Okay, so we plowed around 16 inches of snow since Saturday. And we only had 1 breakdown, and that's the snow blower that goes on that John Deere tractor. We used the blade, and most of the time, until we had that big one, there was just no place to push it, we had to blow it. And of course, that broke down, and that's just part of, that's why, that's residential equipment showing its glory, is when you get this heavy stuff, you just can't handle it. So it's a minor fix, we can fix it, no problem. And that's about it, but you guys always thank us. I'm just talking to my department, the board always thanks our department for what we do. But the thanks goes to you people, because without you, you're making this happen. You're getting equipment for me, you're talking about buildings, we're doing things in the park, and it's all because of you. You know, you're giving me the tools to go out and do all this stuff, so I appreciate you. Thank you very much for all that.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
to counter that, I don't think it's just us, I think it's more of you guys. Your recommendations, your guys' ideas, you guys coming here and talking to us and telling us what we need, because we don't know. I think that's probably the biggest part of what's making all this happen. You guys take a lot of pride in this village and a lot of pride in your work, and it definitely shows.
And the residents are noticing it,
Yeah.
as well as the board.
But you make my job easier, if that makes any sense. You
Yes.
really do. I mean, whether you say yes or no to what I say, I have all respect for all of you.
When
So I
it
appreciate
boils
that.
right down to it, we're all here to try and make this a better village and try and make it a better place for everybody. And that's one of the reasons why we all do what we do. Yes, you guys have a job and you're getting paid for what you do, but you also do a lot on your own. I know for a fact, all of you donate a lot of time for doing stuff in this village. And like I said, we're all doing this to try and help out and make things better here, so we all need a little pat on the back once in a while, I guess.
It does help.
Alright, so we're gonna move on to miscellaneous business. Consider act on approval of application for operator's license effective January.
You forgot.
What's that?
Number 2 and 3 for library.
Oh, no, she went through them already, that's why
But you gotta act on it.
Okay, yeah, alright, I apologize.
No worries.
So, number 2, consider act on approval of library story walk for 2024.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Consider act on approval of community market dates and times for 2024.
Motion to approve community market dates and times.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Alright, good catch, guys. Consider act on approval of application for operator's license effective January 16th, 2024 through June 30th, 2024 for Rosemary Phelps.
Did they have anything?
Any issues? Nothing?
Motion to approve operator's license.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Items to be placed on next regular board meeting agenda.
Planting a money tree.
Who's the Albert sign on there?
We won't need to, right?
I guess that's.
Oh, yeah, response from numbers.
Yeah, we'll probably need to act on our wording if we're gonna change it, so that's something that you can put it on there that we're gonna have to put it on the agenda, but we'll see what he comes back with first.
We have to take care of it.
Anything else that you guys can think of?
No,
There's nothing down here? Alright, motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We're now adjourned at 7:40.
I have a question for you guys. Did you all get emails from me about
Wednesday for homeless at the courthouse.
Yeah, I did see something about
Is
it.
anybody going?
I'll have to see what my schedule is.
Can
I didn't see.
I'll let you know by tomorrow.
Okay. Just